Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 504 podcast. I'm Corey Rholdon with Michael Foret. Mike, let's talk about Pels basketball. It's starting to heat up. They're playing really well right now. A lot of guys contributing, right? It's the healthiest this team's been in a long time. We keep talking about, hey, let's see this team healthy. Now we see them healthy, and I like what we're seeing. I know you have one major concern with Zion and Brandon Ingram, but let's talk about Zion a little bit. I think he's in his best shape he's been so far this year. I think he's playing the best basketball he's playing so far this year. He's had a couple of 30-point performances. I know last game he only had, 13, 16, but he still had 7 boards, 9 assists. I kind of like the way he's playing, and I really like him next to Trey Murphy and Hawkins, who are finally playing together. And dude, when they play together, you break franchise records for three-pointers.
Yeah, and then the analytics back up what you said with Hawkins and Murphy with Zion. But yeah, I think Zion's best with the ball in his hands as a point guard. I mean, you see what defenses do. They literally collapse in on him. They'll put 2 or 3 guys in the paint, stack up the paint, and then if you just have shooting on the outside, then it's tough to beat this team. But yeah, going back to what you said with Ingram and Zion, it's just I question sometimes if they can fit together. I mean, they don't really complement each other that well. You saw Ingram last game against Charlotte. He took more threes than I think I've ever seen him take in his entire career combined. So, he hit a lot of threes. And then there's just not many games where both these guys go off. Like a lot of times you'll have some, like you said, Zion at 13 and Ingram had whatever, 30 or 28, whatever it was. And then same with Dallas, like Ingram's in these slumps and Zion's going off, and these guys don't really complement each other. I love both players, I really do, but yeah, at some point you kind of have to look at them and be like, oh, okay. Because typically when dynamic duos are together in the NBA, they both have like pretty good games, or they like I said, they complement each other. I don't know if they complement each other at this point. I'm getting
players.
Yeah, two ball dominant guys. Your third guy is a ball dominant guy as well. McCollum's playing the best he's probably ever played. Yeah, it's just really tough. I don't know, just sometimes you watch them and you question it. But I mean, they're winning games. I don't know if there's really a move at the deadline they should make. There's no like obvious guy they should go after. They'll probably go after some
Buyout.
a buyout, or they'll go and get some kind of role player. I'm really not even sure what they would be looking for, because if Matt Ryan gets elevated, that's a shooter. So it would be some kind of big guy, hopefully. But I don't really know what they would give up. I heard this year's draft class kind of sucks. So
yeah,
you trade your first round pick. I'm assuming the Lakers picks creeping up. They've been winning a little more lately, but yeah, I'm not sure. I would think if they're going to make a trade, they would trade like Zeller and, Marshall or somebody like that, and throw in a first round pick and try and get some kind of guy. I know they were looking at Alex Burks on Detroit. I'm not sure if that's still in play. But I mean, that
you got Hawkins. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not taking minutes away from Hawkins, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. You got a lot of wings. I'm not worried about wings. If anything, the two positions that you
big.
need big, and you need experienced point guard.
Yeah, I agree. No, we got that. That's what all the reports saying. They were saying Burks, Jared Allen. They've been in on the Jared Allen sweepstakes, or have been wanting to be on that sweepstakes for a while. But there's really not like an obvious guy you can point and look at and be like, oh yeah, that's the guy. Unless they wanted to go after like Nick Claxton or something. I've been saying that for a while, but yeah, they definitely need some kind of backup big. I just really don't know who it would be. I would love Jalen Duren, but they're not going to trade Jalen Duren.
Who's going to get bought out this year?
Gordon Hayward's going to get bought out. That's like the main one I can think of. I don't know if he's even worth bringing in.
No, he's another wing. You don't need a wing.
No, there's no like big guys, I don't think, that are going to be bought out.
Would you bring in Dwight Howard?
Miss Taiwan or Mr. Taiwan. I don't mind Dwight Howard. He's a big body. Like, can't complain. Yeah. They need a big guy. Like, I don't know who it is. I really don't. I feel like Griffin does have a plan. I feel like they will make some kind of trade. I'm really not sure. There's really no obvious guy. I'd love DeJounte Murray, but they would never. Then they wouldn't do that. There's no obvious trade. If they wanted to get rid of McCollum, then there'd be an obvious trade. But I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Clint Capella, I've always said that. There's literally no one like obvious out there.
So who's right now? Who's untradeable in your eyes
On the Pelicans? Hawkins for sure. Dyson Daniels is getting there for me just because like he's only 20 years old. I wouldn't say he's an elite defender, but he's pretty close to being elite. His shot's gotten better. I'd put Herb Jones in there because his contract's so damn good and his shooting keeps getting better. Murphy. And then
that's my number one untradeable asset.
Yeah, Murphy, Hawkins, like your younger guys, your young wings, young point guard. And then I guess Ingram. I mean, I feel like Zion could always be traded. McCollum could always be traded. I don't think they will trade these guys. So you would
keep Ingram before Zion?
Yeah, I would. I mean, Zion, there's just too much. Like, I think people forget, or like local people forget, like what his weight issues. I mean, you were just saying he's in shape now. Like, we're halfway through the season, so I don't know. There's always questions regarding Zion.
The healthiest he's been.
Yeah. But one thing with Zion too that like I think no one really talks about is like if you did ship off Zion, dude, that takes away a lot of national media away, like negative attention away from your team, and like that has to affect the team. Like I don't care how shut out or like how much you tune out noise, like eventually that will seep into a locker room. So if you have like if a lot of the national media doesn't bash you or like bash Zion or whatever, and just these Stephen A lazy takes, that's like one thing you do get rid of, a little bonus. So yeah, I would take Ingram over Zion for sure.
You see, I don't know.
Who has more trade value? I guess you could say
Zion has more trade value than Ingram, in my opinion.
You think?
Yeah, Zion's a better player. Zion, like we talked about this when you start the podcast, right? Zion with the ball, man, in his hand, he creates so much gravity to him to try to stop him. And once you have those shooters right there, it just opens up the floor and opens up the spacing. It's almost impossible to guard offensively with Trey Murphy and Hawkins with Zion. With Brandon Ingram, man, B.I. just he gets hurt a lot too.
Yeah. No, he definitely does.
He gets hurt way too much too. And he disappears. I feel like Zion obviously disappeared in the playing game, but when Zion actually plays, he's going to put up 20. I don't feel like that for Brandon Ingram every single night.
That's my point with like Zion and Ingram. I feel like it's just one night, one guy goes off, and the other guy has 13 to 17 points.
I'll say this with Zion. Zion's 13. He's still got 9 assists and 7 rebounds.
Yeah, but Zion's almost like Zion selectively picks what he wants to be on that night. Like a lot of time, because when he had 30 points in Dallas, he literally his stats were nothing but points. He had 1 rebound.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you got to be hitting the glass. Like no one's rebounding outside Valanciunas and then Nance in the minutes he gets. So like you got to be the enforcer. You got to be that guy to go and get the damn ball. I feel like he just doesn't do that. So Zion's kind of a one-trick pony at times, and it's kind of a detriment to the team. But I mean, what are they? The 4th seed right now, 5th seed. So they got a big game tonight with Phoenix. I'll be there. They're giving away those Pelican hats.
Court, man.
You like it?
Oh, love it. Love it.
Dude, those Pelican hats I was looking at, dude, they have some on eBay. Dude, they're like $200.
Really?
Yeah, and they're giving them out to like the first 8,000 fans tonight. So I'm getting there like extra early. So
hey, can I get one for my dad and my cousin?
Yeah, they're not going to do that. But the Pelicans are in a good spot. Is there anything else like untradables that you would add to, or
Murphy, Hawkins, Herb Jones? Dyson needs to prove a little bit more offensive. Great defensively. I just don't
think you could trade Dyson like at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's too good defensively. He's only 20. He's only going to get better.
Yeah, but that's very attractive. Like if you were to move off Ingram or Zion in the future, and you would have that piece uh, with Dyson Daniels and the Bucks first, you could go and get a superstar, go
That
legit top
that
10
Bucks
play.
first, that Bucks first is going to be valuable. Like you like look at the Bucks without Giannis, dude, they are a train wreck. And then,
Well,
uh,
defensively, they're one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. They're still top two in the East.
oh yeah, no, they're going to be good. Like as long as Giannis is playing. If Giannis ever has an injury, or I mean, Lillard's probably going to go down, not injury wise, but just like progression wise. I mean, he's in his mid-30s now, and he's not a good defender. So that Bucks pick, a lot's going to happen in 3 years. Like 3 years in the NBA is like 30 years in real life. So it's crazy.
But here you go, Mike. I got a question. Zion, Brandon Ingram. Say you're looking to trade for him in the future. Crystal ball. What's a guy that you go and try to get? It's a good fit.
Well, it would depend on the timeline, right? So like where's McCollum? So you kind of have to figure this.
Uh-huh.
You got to figure out who's paid and where is McCollum in this situation. Like is McCollum on his last year of his deal? Um, is Zion
Say if
already?
the Warriors, all right, here you go. See if the Warriors blow up and want to let Steph go try to win another
They would
championship.
never let Steph
I
go.
don't think so either. But like I'm trying to think of a guy right now who might be available. That's Cleveland with Darius
Mitchell
Garland. I
or
mean,
Garland.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, the NBA is weird in the fact that you got 10 guys every year, 10 stars, and then a couple superstars every year that request a trade. So
Yeah, but like nobody's requested trade since Dame. That's the one in the last year. The NBA's
yeah, but
been very
you get you
quiet.
get you get guys like not request trades, but you get guys that become available. Like let's
Yeah.
say that. So you get the DeJounte Murrays, you get the Pascal Siakams, you get the Lillards, you get the. I mean, you
Yeah.
name it. There's going to be other guys. Those are the guys this year. So
Dude, it's
those
been
guys
quiet
always do become
here.
available. It's just a crapshoot.
Ever since KD, the NBA move wise has been quiet.
Well, the NBA passed the new collective bargaining agreement
Yeah.
to where like you can't have more than 2 max guys. So that like
Mhm.
so there's what 60 max slots in the league. So you get to see a lot of guys go to smaller market teams to go get a max contract and get paid that extra 10 or 20% more. So I mean
Yeah.
everyone talks about like Trey Murphy getting a max. I don't think there's any way Trey Murphy's going to get the max. Like I think he'd be like around 20 million, 15 to 20 million range.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, people talk about it. I love Trey Murphy. He's probably first or second favorite player on this team. So there's just no way that dude's going to get a max, especially with how the league is set up. Because you got to pick 2 guys, and your 2 guys are Ingram and Zion. And I don't know if there's a big enough sample size between those 2, but I question it. I'm still questioning it. It's been what 4 years, 3 years since they've been together. So they're both never healthy, and you just kind of have to pick as a franchise. Like I said, you're gonna have to pay these guys soon too. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of questions with the Pelicans, good
But
and
two
bad. It's a good
questions. You
problem
got
to
a lot
have.
of talent. This is the most talented franchise ever had.
Oh yeah, David Griffin has his franchise. This is the best position they've ever been in franchise history, like for sure. They drafted so damn well. There's really nothing to complain about. Um, So I'm not sure, but I feel like they have these war chest pieces, and I think they're gonna do something eventually. It's just like I don't know if they're just waiting on that like some guy. I know you said they were going after Lillard on the offseason. Is like are they just waiting for that next tier superstar to become available, or are they just like
Put him over the edge, right?
yeah? But I just don't know who that guy is. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
problem.
what I'm saying. Like, I can't really sit here. Things would have to go terribly wrong in Dallas for Luca to become available. I
I
just
mean,
things are looking up for OKC, so SGA is not going to become available.
but a guy like Chet Holmgren, oh man, that'd be perfect. I would say like maybe yeah, there's really no like
Devin
obvious answer.
Booker. Say if the Suns blow up and they continue on this path.
Booker, yeah, Booker could be. I mean, the Suns are trending down, in my opinion, not
Yeah,
up. They
yeah.
got no depth. They're very, very top heavy. They really can't play together. They're over the tax by a lot. Booker could be. Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't give up Hawkins or Murphy, I'd rather like if you give up like Ingram and Dyson and then like a first or two first for Booker, I still think you'd come out way ahead. I don't know, but like I said, the NBA is like it's insane how toxic it is with these players because they move
Yeah.
so fast. Like,
But like I said, the last year since Kevin Durant, right? It's only been Damian Lillard. This is the quietest it's been. The quietest it's been in probably years.
well, yeah, well, and then you got February 8th is the trade deadline, which is we're shooting this on the January 19th. So, but you'll hear more stuff. I see all kind of rumors on Twitter now regarding the Pelicans. So, or not the Pelicans, just the league in general. So, the Lakers will probably make a trade, huh?
Talking about rumors. Bill Belichick to the Falcons.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
I don't know how I feel about it, Mike.
Don't overthink. I just tell people don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Like
I hate it.
He's the GOAT. Like,
I would
bro.
hate it, dude.
You what?
I hate it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not positive. Like if you add a GOAT, oh, he's washed up, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, he did have the best player of all time on his team. So, and then he had what? Mac
And
Jones,
Atlanta's
Cam
got
Newton.
talent, though. Atlanta's got talent. Belichick can figure it out. They don't have a quarterback. And that's the one thing he couldn't figure out after Brady in New England. So maybe I don't know. But if they get Belichick and they go and try to get Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields or a somewhat decent quarterback, they're winning the division next year.
Yeah, it would depend who they get. I mean, they have the 8th pick, so they can do what they want with that.
Yeah, trade down and get Daniels. I would hate that.
I don't think they'd get Daniels. Who knows? No, but like people were like, "Oh, Belichick, blah blah blah." It's like, dude, like the man won 6 Super Bowls and then he won a Super Bowl with what was it, Giants before? Yeah, so like the dude's a winner. You can say whatever you want. Look at his QBs he's had. Yeah, he's gonna bring. First of all, he's gonna bring stability, but I think with Atlanta, it'd come down to like, is the GM are the GMs going to give him like a lot of control with personnel?
You know, it's the guy from the Saints. It's Terry.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's the thing I think would be like the biggest thing to look out for, in my opinion. Is like how much control are you going to give him? Because in New England, apparently he had like a lot of control. So Atlanta, I don't know if that would fly, but
because Arthur Blank has a lot of control.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's why like synergy between coaches and management. I think that's like kind of why the Saints are keeping Allen, because he's just kind of like he's got a good relationship with them. So I think that's like same thing with Mike McCarthy. Like, why would you want that Dallas job when Jerry Jones is literally breathing down your neck the entire time? Like, I don't get why anyone. I mean, I get it. You're literally coaching one of the most valuable franchises in all of sports, but like at the same time, like you're gonna have this dude, this egomaniac, breathing down your neck the entire time. So, do you want that, or would you rather go live in LA and be a Chargers coach, or go be an Atlanta coach? So,
dude, Belichick would never do that with with Jerry Jones. I can see him like I'm like, all right, who else would he go to? The Titans aren't
Chargers.
Yeah. So
Chargers got to be the best job, right?
Maybe Seattle.
You'd rather do Seattle over the Chargers?
Chargers going to be in cap hell.
Yeah, but Chargers got a franchise QB.
Yeah, it's true.
No fan base though. Like
they
don't have anyone that shows up at the game.
Diego, dude. They had a fan base in San Diego. San Diego's a beautiful city, beautiful weather. Almost like 4 million people live there.
They'll never move back because they spent like $1 trillion on that stadium.
Well, no, the Rams built the stadium. It's
Yeah,
literally,
but the Chargers use it though, right?
yeah, they didn't spend shit on it.
Oh, then
The Rams built it and they're just sharing it. It's like the Clippers in the Staples Center.
well, Baum. Did you see
Yeah.
the
Oh, it's insane.
Bombers thing? Did you see
The fan wall.
the wall? Dude, that thing looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, it's
They're
sick.
gonna like throw people out if you're wearing opponent jerseys.
Yep.
Like that's not
Uh-huh.
gonna work. There's no way that's gonna
And
fucking work.
and then they could tell how much how much you're screaming and yelling and all that kind of
Dude,
stuff.
there's no way a lot. I mean, I could see that, but like throwing people out, dude, people are gonna test that nonstop. You're gonna see like TikToks and social media idiots go on. It's just like, dude, I don't see that happening. But the yelling thing's interesting.
Yeah.
I
They're
don't
gonna
know.
get like more promotions and cheaper tickets to fans who yell more and
I like it, dude. It looked pretty cool. There's like fucking
uh,
87 rows going back. It's like, okay.
yeah,
But yeah, that if that could be pulled off, I think that'd be really cool.
exactly. Before we touch NFL playoffs, real quick, Alabama's falling apart. Huh?
I know, isn't it awesome?
It's incredible to watch. And like I had this
Mhm.
argument, dude. Saban's a difference maker. I kept saying it. Saban's a difference maker. Yes, Alabama was good, but they had one national title from 1979 to 2009. They were terrible the 10 years before Saban got there. Okay. Now Saban leaves. He's the guy holding down the fort. You go get a coach. Yes, he went to a national title game, but he had the 25th, 27th, and like 72nd recruiting class in the country. He's not that great at recruiting. He doesn't know the South. He doesn't know Alabama's culture. He's from the Northwest. It's beautiful to watch right now. It really is.
No, he might not be a great
I bet
recruiter, but he's definitely a good coach.
he's a
Like,
coach.
yeah,
He's a
there's
good
no doubt
coach.
about it.
But
But yeah,
the
he needs a
wolves are
so
coming, Mike.
oh yeah, no, this happens. This happens basically every single major program that loses their head coach. So it's just amplified more on Bama because their fans
They
are
never did it.
spoiled.
They never had to deal with this. Never had to deal with this. Now
Yeah. No, it's fun to watch. I think it's going to keep happening. I think they haven't closed up the wound yet. It's going to keep gushing. So, I mean, I saw they lost their number one quarterback today.
Yep.
Julian
Offensive line,
Sand. Yeah,
cornerback.
offensive lineman. Yeah, so um,
Speaking of which, talking about the portal. I know you don't like talking about this. Tulane got 2 5-star receivers. Okay. Mario Williams, USC, and then Preston from Alabama. Speaking of Bama, Ty Thompson, they got from Oregon. They just picked up another big time receiver from Idaho, who's one of the best receivers in all of FCS. And they just picked up a left tackle from Western Kentucky who had 0 sacks and over 1,000 snaps.
Tulane's going to be good. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I feel that. NFL playoff prediction?
I kind of went through it, Zach, really quick, but let's see yours, and I'll tell you mine.
Dude, if Buffalo doesn't win this year, they're never going to win.
You think?
It's the year for the Bills. I kind of felt that a couple of weeks ago. They were 6-6. They kind of got that Giants feel, like 2006. 2007, 2011, kind of like team that gets hot at the right time. They're at home. They've had success against the Chiefs the last, I believe, 2 years, beating Kansas City. The Chiefs, limited weapons, right? This is the year. This is the year for the Bills. But here's another thing. I think Patrick Mahomes, the difference maker. He's had their number in the playoffs now. In that game, I just kind of sit there like, shit. That's the number one game all weekend.
Oh yeah, no, by far.
Bills Chiefs.
There's no doubt about that's the number one game.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
Ravens kill Texans. I like CJ Stroud, not as good on the road. Incredible rookie year by him. I like Lions over Bucks, although I think Baker and the Bucks are going to play well and keep it close. And then Niners over Packers, although Jordan Love has been great. Um, so I got the home teams in all 4 games.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the Bills game, but I don't think anyone is. I mean, some people are like, "Oh, you got to take the Chiefs," and other people are like convinced with the Bills. I mean, the Bills are probably the hottest team in the NFL right now, but
Yeah,
they
it's
do some stupid stuff sometimes. So,
that's the thing, dude. I'm sitting there and like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, man, maybe Josh. But they killed the Cowboys. The Cowboys game where I was like, okay, this team can win the Super Bowl when they just literally handed off 40 times and let James Cook have like 300 yards and he beat the Cowboys 31-10. I'm like, maybe Josh Allen learned his lesson that he doesn't have to be Superman every single play.
I
That
saw.
there's times when they need you to be Superman, especially in the fourth quarter when you're down, but especially early on in the game, like Josh Allen just like the Dolphins game, those 2 early picks, like that's 10 points off the board right there.
Yeah, I saw a stat. They're 17-0 when he doesn't turn the ball over in like whatever time frame that was. So they definitely are a different team. But yeah, I'm just gonna watch as a fan. Vegas Vegas used to give 3 points to the team, just for being a home team. It's kind of like 2. They usually give. I saw the Bills are favored by 3. So,
To pick them.
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if you had to bet it, I guess take the Chiefs. I mean, it's just good value at this point. But the Chiefs aren't the same team.
No,
Um,
not even close. Great defensively this year. It's the best defense they've had.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a pulse on it. I just know it's going to be a shootout, and it'll probably be a last possession game. Like whoever has the ball last. I don't know.
Final question for you, Mike, before we go. Final question. Offense coordinator, New Orleans Saints. Who do you want?
Just some young, innovative guy. I don't really
Yep.
care.
Rams passing game coordinator. That's who I want.
Is that guy any good?
Yes. Really
Well,
good.
I would almost say this: like, get someone young, get someone. I wouldn't say inexperienced because that's not true, but just get someone like that. And then if when shit does hit the fan, which it will, Dennis Allen, everyone knows it. There's no secret about it. Then you have a successor. Then you have this young up and coming guy, like a Ben Johnson type, whatever the guy you just said, just some young guy, and just let him take the reins. So I know we're talking about Gruden. Would Gruden be an OC? I don't know what role he would be.
Assistant head coach, offensive analyst.
You think just an analyst?
Yeah. Like assistant
That's
head
like
coach.
that's like
Quarterback
okay.
coach, assistant head coach, quarterback coach. I don't know if he would be the OC.
Being a quarterback coach would be. I'd like that because him and Carr do have a good relationship. I know he came in the offseason to do his stuff or implement some things with him.
Yeah,
So
he stayed with him for a while too in the season.
yeah, no, I'd like that. But yeah, just get some young guy, some possible guy some guy that could possibly show leadership skills and maybe have a built-in successor for your next head coach. So, but there's really no standout guy in my opinion. I know they were looking at the Bengals quarterbacks coach.
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job, but Jake Browning this year is pretty impressive. Obviously, at Burrow, they have super talented weapons, but dude, everybody who's come from McVay has been really good. Floor from the Packers is, dude, you see what he's done with Jordan Love this year. People said it was Aaron Rodgers. He's a damn good coach. Taylor hasn't been bad with the Bengals. He came from McVay. Shanahan coached under McVay. Or with McVay. So like that kind of like trio of coaches. I mean,
Just ride the hot hand, ride the
yeah,
hot tree, whatever you want to call it.
yep, yep.
No, I mean, if they do that, cool. The Saints are just, I wouldn't say they're irrelevant to me, but, I don't,
I
they're
feel
hard to get upset. They're hard to get upset over them at this point in time. Like, you got your GM going up there comparing Dennis Allen to
oh,
Hall of
dude, let's
Fame
not talk
coaches.
about that today.
Well, you need a grace period to talk about it? What you talking about? He's up there smacking gum. That was the worst part. He's
Dude,
literally just
that's how
smacking
you
gum.
know he's got 100% job security. He's sitting there smacking it in his face, sitting there trying to disrespect the fan base, making us thinking that we're dumb, sitting there comparing Chuck Noll, Bill Belichick, two of the greatest coaches of all time, to Dennis Allen. And it's not just the first 3 seasons, Dennis. He's been the head coach for 5. 5. All right, you see?
No, but his answers could have been so much better than what they were. Instead of comparing to Hall of Fame coaches, be like, look, we see a lot of leadership qualities with Dennis. Like he could have just like listed positive qualities or positive things, but he's just like,
bullshit.
Tom Landry when like, oh, it's like, okay, dude, like
Bill
I don't know what you're
Belichick,
doing,
Tom
but
Landry, Chuck Noll, Hall of Fame coaches, all had 3 straight losing seasons.
But
we believe Dennis.
Dude, that puts your coach behind the 8 ball too. Now you're telling your Saints fans that he's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah, I'm expecting a 6 Super Bowl run after this with the next greatest quarterback of all time. That's what I'm expecting.
Jake Hayner, is that you're talking about?
The 6th-round draft pick. Who's going to be a 6th-round draft pick? Michael Pratt.
What about that guy? I was looking at some QBs, like some like later round QBs. What about that guy Milton from Tennessee?
Dude, he's got a cannon. Dude,
I
he can
know.
throw the ball 80 yards on the field.
He's worth a flyer.
Not a very accurate quarterback, and there's a reason why he spent 6 years in college.
I didn't even realize he was there for 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just like guys with like big upside. I mean, if you sit in their 5th or 6th round and burn the pick.
He's like Cardell Jones. 12 gauge. Dude could throw.
Yeah, he's got good size, big arm, like accuracy, But no, I mean, if like all I know is they're not going to take a QB. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, they're going to trade up or whatever. They're not doing anything QB wise. They haven't drafted a QB like ever. So except Archie. Was Archie the last one?
Yeah, and then remember Garrett, dude, guy from Colorado State.
Oh, Garrett Grayson.
Yes, he was in what, the 2nd, 3rd round?
I think he was a 3rd.
Yeah, that was
maybe
the highest
2nd.
quarterback they've drafted since Archie.
The GOAT, Saints legend, Garrett Grayson.
Yeah, spent like a season.
No, they aren't going to take a QB. Let's be honest. If every single pick in the draft this year is offensive and defensive line, I would be happy. I mean, you just got to look at the blueprint of the Lions. Like, look what the Lions have done. They just drafted on the line, and look at them now. They got a great offensive line. Jared Goff is not a good quarterback. I don't care. He's an average quarterback at best. Like,
he's been really good for him now.
I'm not a Jared Goff guy like whatsoever. So
I understand, but he's been very good for him. He played maybe his best game as a pro last week against his former team, and they're like what the Saints were in 2017 when rookie Alvin Kamara, that's Swift, because he's been great the second half of the year, and then
Gibbs,
Montgomery is Ingram. Dude, they got a dynamic 1-2 punch running back wise.
No, they got a good offensive line. So a good offensive line does a lot for a running back. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the better running backs anyway, but you give that dude an offensive line and it's like, damn.
Right. Yep.
No, but yeah, that's how games are won. We talk about it all the time. So give just Saints draft offensive line. I mean, half their Ramczyk probably won't be back. Pete probably won't be back. Who else? Hurst won't be back.
Yeah, McCoy.
You don't think McCoy's coming back?
No, that's your only rock.
Oh no, you got Ruiz.
Yeah.
Ruiz, yeah. But I mean, that's 2 out of 5 linemen that you have coming back. So you kind of have no choice unless Nick Saldiveri and Trevor Penning step up to being the guys that everyone thought they would be. But
I have more faith in the first one you named,
Nick Saldiveri. Well, and then they were like, what did Loomis say? Oh, we haven't given Trevor Penning any favors, or we haven't set him up for success. Like, I don't even know what the hell that means.
And then he said Doug Marrone's a hell of a coach. Well, why isn't Doug developing him?
I don't know. He was raw coming out. He's got a lot of good physical traits, but
He's aggressive.
Yeah, he's a mean SOB. So I like that in alignment. I don't get why it hasn't translated. I don't know. The Saints are just in complete disarray, and then on top of that, you're going to get no free agents. I don't know. I don't know what free agent want to come here. Can you think of one? Morstead? I mean, a kicker? I don't know. Like, I don't.
Dude, dude. I don't know anymore.
As long as we don't trade future first round picks, I'll be like, okay.
I'm happy. Yep.
Yeah,
All
because
right,
then you have tank potential. But yeah, score predictions for the Suns game tonight. What do we got? Or just predictions in general?
Pels win by 5.
5. Ooh.
Right? Because if they're not going to win by 3 or less because they're 0-7 in that category this season.
I like the prediction.
The prediction: Zion goes off again. KD keeps him in it. Pels up by like 10 with around 6 minutes left. The Suns make a little push, but a big 3-pointer by Trey Murphy with about a minute 30 left puts it to.
Okay. All right. Corey's cooking.
Yeah, there you go. That's my prediction.
Hawkins points. What is he having?
13.
13? All right.
Yep.
I like it. Yeah, I think Pelicans are going to win. I think they'll win by more than 10. I think Phoenix doesn't have the depth to keep up. I think this is going to be a playoff atmosphere. I was looking at tickets.
Sold out.
It's basically sold out.
On
yeah.
Fox.
Those hats are getting everyone in there. So I got to get there like an hour and a half early to get one of those. And then we'll see if I want to sell it or not. But wear it to a wedding or something. But yeah. All right. Good pod.
All right, bro. Talk to you later.